Welcome to Center Ground, your home for unfiltered discussion, where we tackle today's most talked about topics, break down current events, and give our take on the internet's latest foolishness. Tune in and let's find some common ground. Let's get this party started. Welcome back to the Center Ground podcast. I am your host, Bootsy, back with another reaction video. Before I get started, I wanted to say thank you to all of you who watched my last video. I uploaded about 11 days ago. It's been busy, but that one hit 1,000 views. So I am grateful for your time, your energy. Thank you so much for watching, commenting, liking, subscribing, anything that you have done. It really is a blessing to see those numbers go up. So I wanted to say thank you. If it was just 10 people that watched and one person got something out of it, I would be grateful. So to see so many views and to hear in the comments that so many people started a conversation and things like that, this is a beautiful thing to witness. So thank you. Sorry for the delay. I've been working on a few things and, I've been extremely busy lately. And I did something dumb. I tried to record a video and forgot to add the actual video. So I didn't have enough time to just fix it. So, I want to just keep pushing forward and keep doing things. So again, thank you. And let's get this one started. This is Help Her With Bills If She's Sleeping With You with Tommy Sotomayor. He's Tommy School Shirley promoting 304 behavior. So we already know this is going to be entertaining because Tommy Sotomayor usually comes with the heat. A lot of cursing. So it's probably going to be a lot of bleeping. But it should be interesting and entertaining. Just the concept of itself, pay her bills if she's sleeping with you. I mean, that sounds a lot like street walking activity. So we'll see. We will see.
Say how could you have sex with somebody and just for free or something?
Like, how can a man have sex with a woman for free?
Yeah.
Huh? You're saying it should always be transactional?
Yeah, because sometimes they don't help. Like, sometimes people will be having sex with women and the women's bills are due, and I just want to know could they find it okay in their heart to just not ever help this woman.
So how about saying she grown?
Yeah.
When I you, I don't expect my bill to get paid. Why would you not?
Okay, Tony, dog, you ever met a woman, right? And you had a good time with her, y'all smash, and she's like, yeah, well, my tire went flat, our rent is due. I was like, oh, really? Mm-hmm. That sucks for you.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because if we went...
That's so messed up. But listen, I don't think a lot of, and believe it or not, that mentality is taught to a lot of young women, and it's very destructive, right? It's the belief that you should get paid for sleeping with the person that you're sleeping with, which is essentially streetwalker activity, prostitution, right? That's not how this works. If you sleep with somebody, then they sleep with you, you do something called an equivalent exchange. So this mentality is already destructive. I got to see where this is headed because I know it's not going to be pretty because it's a really dumb and bad mentality. But a lot of modern day young women have this inherent belief that not only are their private areas gold, but people should be paying them for it. And they don't understand how that makes them a prostitute.
And after we was like, oh man, I'm stressing. She's like, what's stressing? Man, my rent due. And they was looking at us like we was crazy. She woke up.
Y'all might say this is fucked up, but you're ignoring the fact that we experiencing this. Yeah. Every man at this table experienced a woman giving him that sob ass story.
Help me, I'm poor. No.
And that's real. But let me put it to you this way. I've said it in previous videos, and I'm going to continue to say it until young boys start to finally understand it. When women lead with money, when they lead with their problems, when they lead with, oh, I need help with this and I need the help with that, that means they don't like you. And I need to say that boldly, bluntly, and repetitively. It means they don't like you. How do you know that, Bootsy? Well, it's simple. Because when people like you, especially in the beginning, they're doing this thing where they're trying to impress you. Some people might even lie about themselves so that you like them or continue to like them. This is how human beings behave. So if a young man or young woman starts to bring their sob story, especially at the beginning, the talking stage, the early dating stage, that either means that their life is messed up, which you may not want to be with them anyway, or they're trying to manipulate and use you for your resource. Plain and simple.
Yeah, every man has had that experience where you deal with a loose woman, ratchet, woman who doesn't really know herself or is broken in some way. And you get done dealing with her, or you've been dealing with her for a few weeks, and she thinks now it's time to, in a subliminal way, solicit for help for her situation, and she doesn't know how to do it because she doesn't know what her value is. She doesn't even know if she can even ask for anything. So she just plays games. She solicits for help in really weird ways. You're on the phone with her, and then all of a sudden she's like, I don't know how I'm going to get this rent paid. I've just been sitting here stressing. I don't know what I'm going to do. And me, a guy like me, I'm just like, I don't really know what you're going to do either, Shawty.
That's when you hit them with, yo, that's crazy. But no, it's real. And so many women do this nonsense. It's begging. That's what it is. It's begging. And it's sad. This is why I wish we never got rid of shame, because shame used to stop all that. When I was growing up, it's a little different because people still did it. But what they did was it wasn't so openly accessible. Like you didn't see like cash apps and stuff in people's bio back in the day, because that's called begging, right? People just, they just beg openly at this point. When it's their birthday, they write a post. Oh, hey, thank you all for my birthday. Here's my cash app. Like, come on now, that's begging. But yeah, when they start all that nonsense talking about, oh, I have all these issues, y'all, that should be the clue, the key, the red flag for y'all to get up and walk away.
I don't really know if I can help you.
If I pay every one of you hoes who said told me I'd be broke.
I'd be broke.
I'd be you.
Exactly.
I would be asking a mother like you doing this thing called grown, and that's what I hate when these women say, "Oh, I'm grown." Well, if you grown, you should pay your own bills.
Yeah, and if you're strong and independent, if you want a man, you don't need a man. Men are just some extra thing you're bringing into life because, you're just so together. You got your career, you got your degree that don't make you no money. You're doing your little thing, so you don't even really need men, and you're putting that energy out there. What make you think that after you get done dealing with a man or sleeping with a guy for a few nights, he's going to be thinking about helping you pay your bills? Look at the entitlement of these modern 304s.
Because I tell women, they use the excuse of I'm grown to do things. And I did like I did Santa. You know how I got Satan out of Santa? You know what else I get out of grown?
What?
Wrong. Same letters. And I tell, just because you grown don't mean you can't be wrong. And the fact that you think that because I fucked you, I should give you my money. You didn't work for your. Soon as you gave me your, you can walk out the house and give somebody else that.
Facts.
Soon as I give you $500, that $500 gone. I got to go work to replace it. And work is my physical ability and my time, and I can't get any one of them back.
This is why Tommy is the legend that he is.
It's crazy when you watch their faces as he's talking, you could tell they never looked at it from that perspective. They never looked at it from that perspective. That means they've been asking people for stuff and never thought for a second that, hey, I'm asking these people for things that they worked for. It's like, you ever watch children? Children will ask you for everything. They don't care. It's that same mentality. And this is why we liken some of their behavior and them to children. Because if you look at how children act and you look at how some of these modern ladies act, they act like children. Like, you're telling me that you can ask a guy for a multitude of money. You want these expensive dates, these lavish purses and trips, but you never stop to think, wow, this guy has to work back to get that money again. They never thought of that. And that's sad. And again, this is another example as to why I say when they come at you and want money from you and they just want you to spend, that's a clear indicator that they don't like you. Because when a woman likes you, she's going to want to build with you. Those wait at the finish line chicks, they don't like you. They like what you represent. They like the idea of you, but they don't like you.
This is why so many people have been following Tommy. I'll admit that I was late on Tommy Sotomayor. I didn't really get familiar with his content until I saw his little scuffle with Mr. Samuels, just to discover that Mr. Samuels had been inspired by Tommy Sotomayor, and Tommy Sotomayor was one of the first guys around, even before Kevin Samuels, to get these hyenas together. This is going to be a great display of how to do that and still be entertaining, but still be abrasive the way you need to do when dealing with this type of woman. Let's get back.
Yeah, he's blunt. But yeah, most people don't know that about Tommy. Like, he's not as polished as Kevin was, which is probably why Kevin became significantly more famous and somewhat mainstream. It's because he was way more polished, and he used a lot of data and statistics, and he, really broke it down in a simplistic form. What Tommy does is Tommy tends to tell them like it is to their face. Sometimes he's a little bit brash. Sometimes he's loud. Sometimes he cusses. Well, he curses a lot, but it's like, he does it in a different way. That might be why some people don't really know of him as much as they did Kevin. But the way that Kevin did it was like, the stuff of legends. He created a podcast. He had them calling him. He would break down their arguments in real time and then tell them why they were struggling the way that they did. And that might have something to do with him being an image consultant, but I'll let it continue.
Into it.
And several people walk on. I am not going to sit up here and trade. I say, oh, we talking. You should help me. I need to stop broke bitch about that. You just made me realize I need to stop broke bitch. Thank you very much.
Entitlement.
Yeah. So the question, just so I make sure I have this right, is how can a guy have sex with a girl and not want to take care of her after? Is that your question?
Yeah. Yeah, or during, before. It's just.
But there's a reason why, and we have to stop with the equal talk all the time. I get it. We're supposed to treat each other as equals, but you also have to have a firm understanding that none of us are truly equal. What I mean by that is, look at how all of the men responded to what she said versus how all of the women responded. That means we're not equal. We don't think the same, right? The men understand how foolish that was. I need to pay you to sleep with you. That's prostitution. The women, on the other hand, with the exception of the one wearing black, I think she might be the only one who understood that what this one in the middle was saying was crazy, right? And there's a reason for that. It's because of the way that we view the world. Men and women don't view the world the same. We don't have the same responsibilities, and we're not treated and or taught the same way, which leads to how we think differently.
Heartless.
She's like, it's so heartless to sleep with a person who you don't have anything invested in and not be willing to pay her bills, and you see that she's struggling. It's like, she's nothing to me. She's not anything to me, though. She's just a woman who made the decision to sleep with me.
Yeah, and you may have heard me say this before. She's just a body. And it's terrible to look at other people as just things, but some people are just things, and it's horrible, but that's what they are. Some people can't do anything else except sexual relations. They have no brain. They can't think for themselves. They can't even take care of themselves, which is why they're constantly seeking someone else's money. So certain men see them as bodies. This is why when you're a young woman and you come outside dressed like this lady in the middle of the camera, or even the one to the left, that's why some men view them as just bodies, and then they sell sexuality. So again, what you promote is what you get. I used to use an example of a car. You ever see back in the day, they used to have cars in newspapers and other magazines and things like that, where they would advertise the features of the car. And it's crazy to think that at one point, air conditioning was considered a luxury feature. And it's like, can you imagine if you advertise the car as having AC and people show up because they want a car with AC, and then you as the owner get upset because the people who showed up want a car with AC? Do you not understand how stupid that is? And that's the lesson I try to teach women whenever I have these conversations with them. If you sell sex, if you sell sexuality, if you sell that you're a freak and you can do all this nasty stuff, no one is going to take you serious. And the people who show up are going to be the people who want to use you how you advertise. It's funny how they understand this in corporate America, but don't understand it in real life.
This is why you women need to preserve your value a little bit longer. Stop being so loose.
Hey, yo.
You guys don't have to give us access to your bodies. You can always just keep your legs shut and hold out for that ultra chivalrous guy.
You can't do it.
I don't think you should be all these women and stuff. I think if a good man had like all those things that.
And that's the manipulation. It's always a good man would do what I want him to do. A good man would always do what I need him to do. This is why they'll view someone like Russell Wilson as a good man, but they don't know what Russell doing to this woman, Sierra. They don't know anything about these people, but because he's helping her, because he stepped in and did something that most men would not want to do, he's viewed as good. That's a problem. It's funny because back in the day, they did this thing where they had pictures of like serial killers versus like regular guys. And it's funny because the women were extremely attracted to the serial killers. It's freaking amazing to watch in real time because it's like, wow. So you telling me you would have been a victim of Ted Bundy and all these other people, right? And it's what they like and it's what they're attracted to. But my point is, it's like when you look at what they view as positive, attractive, good, when you get an understanding of that, you see why some of them have messed up relationships because they're attracted to things that's meant to destroy them, but they can't see it because they're attracted to it.
He would have a problem slinging dick everywhere.
Well, what makes her good though? Y'all women, have you noticed this? And I want everybody to think about this. For some odd reason, women can tell you what a good man is, but they can't really tell you what a good woman is, which is what they are, women. What the f they look like? I can always tell you what a good woman is, but I couldn't tell you what a good man is.
Ooh, slag.
So this good man should do these things. What should a good woman do?
She should have probably had some food ready when he come to visit her and fed him.
But she didn't have none of that. You said all she gave me was
you know.
but you said all she gave me was and used and wasn't new.
And I resent that thinking. I mean, obviously, she's not the brightest person in the world, obviously, right? But that sentiment that she has is not, it's not isolated. I guarantee you most of the women at this table, and probably most of the women in the world, think the same. They think a good woman is just a woman that cooks and cleans, which is why they get so angry when someone wants a stay-at-home wife, because they think, oh, well, it's weird. They have a belief that, cooking and cleaning is just the bare minimum and women can do more. But when you ask them what a good woman is, they say cooking, cleaning, and sleeping with you. And it's weird because those three things, the modern day woman rejects, right? They say that they're more. And I believe it too. I do believe that they are more than just those three things. However, when you ask a question like Tommy asks, those are the first three that they run to. I don't know if they run to it because of tradition, history, or if that's what they think men want to hear. Or maybe they don't have anything else in their mind, which is why they say those three typical things. But it's like, why can't they ever explain what a good woman is? I don't think a good woman is someone who cooks, cleans, and sleep with you. That's not what I think one is. Just off the top, someone who's kind-hearted, someone who is nurturing and caring, because that's an important trait, especially when you have children, right? Someone who can teach, someone who is skilled, someone who is knowledgeable, and more importantly, someone who knows how to listen and not speak. Because sometimes people talk too damn much and they ruin their relationships because they have to say something. And that's a big problem within the Black community.
No, like if you're in relationships and you guys are back and forth having sex, I believe that people should.
If you grew up in the Black community, you've heard a Black woman's mother say this to a Black daughter. She say, "Don't be sleeping with no man for free. Don't be effing for free." We've heard
That's what Drake said too. Drake said it too.
this. And we've also seen women mistake this message for becoming a streetwalker. And the next thing you know, they're walking the street.
Good for $5, baby.
She changed the dynamic.
No, that's encounterments. Encounterments mean multiple.
Yeah. Look at you cap it though. First time you can't.
She talking about entanglements like Jada Pinkett Smith. Encounterments? I don't know if I've ever heard that word before.
Make this word mean something.
Listen,
No, it sounds like she's talking about entitlements.
No. Yeah. I don't feel like
I know my way around English. Entitlement. You feel like because you gave me some you are owed some help in your life.
Yeah, that's entitlement.
And what I did was it's called a fair exchange. I fucked you, you fucked me. I don't owe you shit.
Yeah, so I was kind of alluding to this before, but when people sleep with each other, it's called an equivalent exchange. It means that I'm sleeping with you and you're sleeping with me, right? I grew up, I was obsessed with this thing called Full Metal Alchemist. It's a TV show. And within alchemy, they say, You have to make two things. To make something, you must have to mix something of equal or it has to be equal value or some crap like that. It's been a long time since I watched it, but they called it an equivalent exchange. And that's exactly what relationships should be. You don't have to do the same things, but they should equate to the same kind of value. You get what I'm saying? This is why most men don't mind if they have to kill themselves at work to provide for their family, as long as that when they get home, they have a nice meal ready. To some men, that's equivalent, right? And it's like, I don't know what she was talking about in counterments, but she has the belief that she can do whatever she wants, sleep with a guy, and he has to pay her. He has to pay her bills. He has to pay for her responsibilities. And I find it ironic because recently I got in a debate with somebody online about women's rights and how they couldn't have bank accounts. And I found it funny because I was like, women could get bank accounts. There's no law that says they couldn't get a bank account. I was like, what you're talking about is they weren't really allowed to have the same loans as men because women weren't allowed to have debt. And it's like, why couldn't women have debt? Women couldn't have debt because that debt would fall on their husband or their father or sometimes even their brother, not likely, but usually husband or father. And, you know, her argument kind of fell short because she didn't know these things. She didn't know any of it, but she heard talking points. And this is what I'm saying. These women are taught to behave, taught to think, taught to speak the way that they do. And in our community, the Black community, it's worse. It's exacerbated because, yes, their mothers tell them you should not do certain things for free. You want to know why? Because mama used to sell her body but don't want to tell her daughter. We don't talk about stuff like that. Right? Because I've seen some crazy things. It's funny. I've witnessed a woman who I went to church with coming out of random men's houses. Just randomly. I remember I walked throughout the day. I remember one time I seen her come out of 3 different houses. And it's like, what are the chances of me seeing this woman? And she always had this look of shame, you know, every time I seen her. And once she tried to turn her head, it's like, I saw you already, right? It does not surprise me that her daughter is similar right now. Mad easy, mad sleazy. It does not surprise me. This stuff comes from somewhere.
It's very sad. I see girls doing all the time. And last time I was like, you know, I went home and I thought about it. Like, women are for free, for real.
Why aren't you talking to the women? Why aren't you telling them to stop for free then? Put a price on the...
Yeah, exactly. They should.
Nah, don't do that. Because, see, that's streetwalker activity, and we're not promoting that. See, I get what he's trying to say, and he's being funny and entertaining, but I'm like, sometimes when we have these conversations, we got to get serious. We got to stop promoting this negative behavior. It leads to just pure destruction.
Put a price on it. And a man,
yes, but why are you asking the man? Wait a minute, hold on. So if you drove by Jiffy Lube right now, drove into Jiffy Lube changed your oil and rotated your tires and gave you the deuces, didn't ask you for a dime, what would you do?
I'd be like, what the wow,
and
that never happens. This usually expects a tip.
And you drive off and be like, you know? And then you call your girl, I went to Jiffy Lube, they getting free oil changes. Now Jiffy Lube got a long ass line of trying to get the same free oil change that you just got.
Damn.
And I don't know if they're going to get the analogy, but that's how a lot of guys work. As horrible as that sounds, that's how a lot of guys work. If they figure out that the woman is easy and sleazy, everybody tries to get their turn. It's gross to me, but this is how a lot of guys operate. And then these women don't understand. This is why you can rack up a whole bunch of bodies and don't nobody want to keep you. This is how that works because people are using you. They're taking advantage of a situation. That's how that works. This is why men tell other men, do not get with women of a high body count. Is all of this stuff starting to make sense to you? Like, I hope there's a woman, a young girl listening, and she's like, oh, that's why I shouldn't sleep with a bunch of people. That's why I should be more selective of who I choose to get with. I pray that somebody's listening. Seriously.
That's what would happen. Women take from men for free and then brag to their friends about what they just got.
This is why simps ruin the dating market. And this is why men have a justifiable reason for attacking simps. Women are crazy as hell and out of their mind for attacking women that they call pick-me's. Pick-me's are not the female version of a simp. A simp is literally destroying the honest, portion of the dating market, the honesty in the dating market, should I say. Men are giving away free things and giving up chivalry for nothing and giving up their resources just for conversations. Puts ideas out there in the minds of women that just ultimately spreads because women spread bad ideas more than they spread good ones. The next thing you know, we have a dating market where women think that they're just supposed to get paid for conversations, cash apped, just to DM them and all this other different type of stuff.
See, y'all be bullshitting, man.
Yeah, and that's a good point because I never thought of it that way, but you starting to hear, it's funny how it starts with an idea and it sounds ridiculous when you first hear it, and then it just spreads like wildfire. Because back in the day, if you said you had to pay for my babysitter in order to date me, most men would have just walked away. This is why we hate simp culture, because simp culture is breeding stupidity and nonsense, because we know that there's always some weak-minded man who's thirsty who would do it. And you know what's crazy? We don't realize that some of these weak-minded men who will pay for it and who will do it are the same people that we admire. Look at how many men admire Drake. Drake be paying women to stick around him. This is why he always throwing money around. Even in his songs, he'll say, I'll give her 10 stacks or whatever. They're paying these women. Some of your favorite rappers and entertainers are the biggest simps on the planet, and y'all glorify and idolize them.
Asking a man to do. Feel sorry that we both, when I was you, I was sweating. Guess who else was sweating? You were. I didn't take something from you.
Yeah,
you
you
took
were
that
in the
oil
dark.
change. So at the end of that, your ass didn't have your rent paid. You know what you should have been doing instead of sucking my filling out an application.
Could drop a flex bomb on that one, but it's real. And I don't think, and this is what happens when you're poorly trained, because a lot of young women believe, yeah, if I sleep with him, I'll get to keep him. And it's like, no, sweetheart, you should have been showing your worth before you slept with him, so that when he slept with you, he would go, I can't let this go. A lot of young girls don't do that. I don't know if it's because they don't have a lot going for them, so they don't feel that they have any worth outside of sexuality, or if it's just because, yeah, I don't know, like they just don't get it. Like they don't understand how things work. I really have no firm understanding of what goes through like some of these young women's mind, because they do things and they expect a positive result, like Shorty with the red hair, who believe, hey, simply because I slept with you, now my bills will get paid. That's foolishness, right? You know what would work better? The old school way. You have that man court you. That man starts to get to know you. That man starts to like you. That man falls in love with you. Then y'all connect yourselves. You sleep with each other. Then guess what? He won't mind paying those bills. But you see, I'm starting to understand that these are just lazy young women who want shortcuts. That's why they act. That makes sense. So they just want shortcuts. And that's why they think if I sleep with him, maybe I can speed run through everything that I want to get done in life. And it just doesn't work.
You've proven to me you a bitch I probably shouldn't be talking to, because you'd rather suck than pay rent.
No, I pay my rent.
Sprinkle, sprinkle.
And that's the other part of the equation, right? Because it shows poor decision making. And I don't think that's what people truly understand. When men look at women, women are essentially liabilities to most men. I don't think women understand that. And I'm not saying it to be mean, right? Because when you're around, you make us weaker. You do. You make us more vulnerable. If a man is out in the street, I guarantee you a man would rather go to a deserted island or a creepy island or a creepy cabin in the woods by himself than with his girl. And you might say, why is that? It's because not only do I have to protect myself, but I also have to protect you. That's what makes you a liability, right? And when women move foolishly, I think most men leverage logic and they'll understand, if I keep her around, she'll put me in danger. Women who just sleep around with people can easily put you in danger in more ways than one. Think about that for a second.
Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
Don't see any lies here at all. If you women are going to be out here talking about you're independent, you're going to put more stock in what you earn and your education than the quality of the woman that you are and your homely duties, this is what you get. Guys are going to tell you to pay your own bills. Guys are going to get the cheeks, and then they're going to let you be the independent woman that you keep promoting. You women are going to have to put a different frequency out there into the dating market if you don't want to be treated like a Passover. Just get Netflix and chill, then we move on to a woman who isn't masculine. A lot of you women who are ultra career women, you women who have these modern ways of looking at things, you women will be taking these deals more than any other group of women.
You lose.
But yeah, you're not talking about me.
Come on,
No.
sprinkle. You cannot put your, if you're in a position where I know you just, and your rent was due, you making bad choices. Imagine.
Didn't I just say that? But didn't I say that though? It shows a lack of thought. And for me, I never liked anybody, any woman that didn't have foresight. If you just do things for the sake of doing it, because whether you just feel like doing it or someone hurt you and you got emotional, or just because there are some people who just do stuff because they don't think. I was never attracted to that. Like, and it's sometimes when I was younger, it took me longer to understand that some people were this way. But no, I like one really great quality of my wife is she thinks things through. Sometimes a little bit too much, but she thinks it through. And guess what? When she's happy, she thinks it through. When she's sad, she thinks it through. When she's somewhere in the middle, guess what she gonna do? You get what I'm saying? When people have certain qualities and traits, it don't change based off their emotions. And this is what young men, young women need to learn when picking a spouse. Pick somebody who's good regardless of their situation. Yeah, they might get angry. Yeah, they might snap at you. Yeah, they might yell at you, but eventually they'll bounce back and be that person that you fell in love with. Stop chasing people just to sleep with them. It don't end well. Like I'm tired of telling people like it never ends well. Y'all got to learn eventually.
If I told you I went to the
I don't like that. I don't like
know,
that for
but
some
you're
women,
asking
so
for the
that's why
man to make up for her stupidity.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Nigga, who?
Wait a minute, did she? But again, this is why they get treated like children, because some of them really and truly act like small children. Did she really just say she wanted the men to make up for like female stupidity or inadequacies? Like just because you can't pay your bills and you sleep around, don't mean the men you slept around with has to pay your bills. Get your life together. Like, why don't we hold women to the same accountability levels as we try to hold men? I get why we need to hold men to that level, and I'm fully for that. But I also believe we need to start holding women to that same degree, if not a little bit sharper, because they are the bringers of life. And then we live in a society that allows them to raise the children, even when they are not qualified. So I do think they might need to be a little bit, we need to be a little bit stricter when it comes to them at times. I'm not trying to be sexist, but I'm saying I do think if we're going to continue doing things the way that we do it, there should be a reason for the levels of strictness that we impart on people. For example, I think we should be more strict on police officers than a lay person. Why is it that a lay person can go to jail for so many years, crazy amount of years, if they end someone, but a police officer who is literally trained to have composure, to be in that situation, to wield a weapon, why is it that when they do something dumb, end a life, they could just be like, well, I was scared, I feared for my life? It doesn't make sense. Certain people should be held to a higher standard.
Are y'all getting this? Why am I not surprised to hear a woman in the modern day saying that men should make up for women's stupidity? When talking about Western women evading accountability in this conversation, I think that this takes it to another level. So now we're responsible for the dumb decisions you make. Now you sound like that girl from the panel we reacted to the other day who was saying that men prey on a woman's inability to pick. I think it was Molly from Anton's panel. It's showing that you modern women will look outside of yourselves. No matter what kind of decision you make, somebody else is to blame.
Grow the hell up.
Yeah, all that shit.
We know what killed
women.
We supposed to get some. It's still not okay that it's gone. Like we're still looking for that. We're still looking for guys to buy us flowers, surprise us, get us things.
She's got to be out of her mind. She's like, I know that women kill chivalry. I know that women are the reason that men don't want to be chivalrous anymore. But we still are looking for it. You still should do it. I just think that this is such an honest take on how women feel. It's just most women won't give it unfiltered like this. But I think a lot of women feel like this. They feel like even though they're nowhere near the quality of the women of old, they expect the same chivalry. She's just silly enough. Maybe she's had a couple of drinks, or I don't know. She's not on to RP content and that this is going to go viral. But either way, it still is very revealing and telling.
Yeah, I agree with him. And it might just be that she's not intelligent enough to know that she's snitching on herself, because some people are like that. But it's like, yeah, forget the women of old and all that other stuff. It's like they just expect something that they never worked for. And that level of entitlement is dangerous, because that's when people start trying to take stuff from people right? You realize that when people start to get too entitled, they start to believe that they deserve certain things and they should have it, and they will be willing to just swipe it from somebody. I don't get how so many young women have gotten like this. And one thing I learned from her speaking is she's doing things in the wrong order. And Ayanna Van Zandt got famous for saying you're out of order. It's really an old church saying. And what it means is you're just not doing things properly. And that's what I mentioned earlier about this young lady. She's not doing relationships properly. She's doing it backwards, and then she's wondering why it's not working out. And it's crazy how frequent this happens. But again, this is what happens when you don't have people to properly train you on the art of relationships. And let's be real. A lot of these young women were raised by single mothers who never were able to get it right. So how could they possibly teach their daughters, or their sons for that matter, how to do it properly? Well, let's continue.
Get back into it.
Likes you and appreciates you, they do that.
That shit's
Thank you.
Like, they want you, they will do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But
They don't want you.
a lot of girls don't get that.
If you read my fucking meeting,
Because they don't deserve it. And that's the other part of the entitlement conversation. They believe that they should get the utmost even though they don't work for it. And I think I just said that a few minutes ago, right? You want luxury. You want the highest order of things. They want the tallest guy, the most muscular guy, the most successful guy. What did you do to work for that? Are you successful? Are you the most muscular? Can you provide that for him? The answer is almost overwhelmingly no, but they still want it. And that's where the problems lie.
Hold on. Wait, why don't they get it?
Because they don't want you.
I don't know. I don't know why I don't get it.
Maybe they don't deserve it.
Because
And I told you, they really have no clue. She admitted it. She said, I really don't know. They have never shown that they deserved it. And that's what happens when you work backwards. If you meet a guy who's successful, and the reason why you're chasing him is because he's successful, he already knows the type of woman you are. And those men are more likely to use you rather than keep you, right? You didn't show your worth. You didn't show how you can make his life better, more convenient, easier, livable. Nothing. You just showed that you were a body that he could play with for a period of time and put back on the shelf. And in some cases, call back when he needed it or wanted it, and then just rinse and repeat. So why would he then sacrifice for you? Why would he build for you? Right? One thing I will tell you is most men that I know, most married men that I know, they do what they do for their family. It's no secret that most of these men didn't have easy, sleazy women. Now, there are some men who do that dumb crap, and they usually, and it doesn't end well. Like, what's his name? Joe Smith? Joe Johnson? Not Joe Johnson. I think his name was Joe Smith, the basketball player who had all that money. And then when he lost it, his wife went back to the corn industry, right? And it breaks him, but he can't do nothing because he's broke and he most likely don't have any skills. So he can't make the money back that he made in the NBA. So he's kind of stuck, right? It's stuff like that. But most men aren't Joe, whatever his name is. They want respectable women, even, and women hate hearing this, even if they're willing to sleep with a sleazy woman. And you don't have to like it, but that's a real comment. Let's continue.
Maybe why do you believe that because she's a female, she deserves a certain treatment?
Please tell us.
What?
Why do you believe that because she's a female, she deserves certain treatment?
Because I believe
you didn't say a good woman, you just said a female.
No,
but you made a man be good.
Woman. Yeah, but we're not talking about a relationship. We're talking about like having, like, if we're friends and we're like having sex with each other. If you have,
I don't know one female
no
friend I have that feels like she got to pay a bill of mine.
If you're friends, you share things that you don't pay. Like,
and I've seen y'all women friends go out to dinner. You know what happened when they bring the check? The man, I only ate chicken and I ate salad.
Yo, I legit just watched a video of this where a young woman, she put the camera on herself and she knew it was coming. That's how common this is. But she knew it was coming. She had like one or two things. And she's like, all right, how are we splitting this bill? Because I only had the chicken and the water or whatever she had. And some lady, you could tell as far at the other end of the table, was like, if you broke, just say that. And it's funny because they use the same lines even on each other. This is why men shouldn't get offended when they say the nonsense that they say, because it's just pure manipulation. And they tend to be one trick ponies. So they say it's like they put the square piece in the circle hole. They just use the same crap no matter the situation. And she's like, listen, I'm not broke. I'm just not paying for you heifers food, drinks, and all the extra crap that y'all bought when I only had $30 worth of food.
So the bill's $516, so I'm gonna just take out what I got, and then y'all can just split the bill on y'all own.
Nah, but everybody's splitting the bill, so why are you taking out what you got?
Respectfully, if you didn't have no money, you should have done that.
Respectfully, I'm not paying for your steak, and I'm not paying for your mac and cheese, I'm not paying for your mashed potatoes, I'm not paying for your 5,000 drinks.
Because you knew this was an expensive restaurant, so why?
I mean, I know I paid the restaurant. I told Nas before that I was splitting my bill, and I'm not paying.
It's like y'all ordering a whole bunch of crap and not sharing with everybody, but then you want somebody else to pay for it. And so it's real what Tommy said. Women do this a lot. And I juxtapose that to what happens when I go out with my friends, right? It's funny because when I was coming up, one of my boys used to take me out all the time to spots, and I never knew you had to pay to get in. That's how much he would pay for stuff. I legit believed for a while that they were just free and you spend money when you get inside. Nah, my man was just like, nah, we gonna have a good time. He was like, nah, we not worrying about nothing. And he knew I was young. I ain't had money like that, right? So guess what happened when we got a little bit older? He ain't had to pay for nothing. You reciprocate that value. I do believe that men, as a collective, tend to be better at that than women because women bicker over some of the craziest things. And I didn't know that coming up until I started watching some of my female friends and how they interact with other female friends. But it's sad because the same entitlement that they have with men, they also have it with other women, which is why, like in my example earlier, I said that the woman at the far end of the table wanted the one recording to pay for her stuff, even though she didn't have a lot.
As friends. Actually, men do a better job of taking care of each other than y'all do. I've been out with them nigga, or this says, I got you. I went out this all night this morning and put your money away. So men, we understand that, but we also respect reciprocity because we know the next time any one of us is doing something, this got me too. Y'all women, y'all literally will talk about each other behind each other's back.
Yeah,
to a random
This is why they want Tommy off the internet. You're not allowed to keep it this funky. You're not allowed to expose black women's cards to this level. And I really just am starting to get tired of the bullying that he's experiencing on the platform. Because where's the lie? This man is being bullied by the system.
Oh, what he's doing? Why you bullying me?
And he's not lying. It's tragic. I think that we've heard black women talk like this in the hood before. They're like, well, I'm giving you some, so why can't I ask you for some money? I'm like, well, you said that, so why can't I call you a prostitute?
Women, what you should be talking about is what women should be doing for each other. If y'all been had friends that was what the
I do have friends, so that's why I'm
so then you want me to take up this business out here sucking and and ain't got a rent paid.
Gotcha.
No, listen, them guys gotta do better.
Get money, not
them
dick.
Guys is do better.
Dick is easy to find. A job ain't. Go
if
look
a
for
woman
it.
is giving you her time and all that.
There's an argument that the man is actually giving up more valuable time to try to date or be involved with women. But look how she's only thinking about how the woman's time is being invested. She's like, if a woman's giving up to her time, you should pay her for it. It's like.
And we need to have a conversation about female selfishness. And I think sometimes we ignore it because the way that they look and because some of them come off as nice, but some of them are very selfish and they're never called out for it. It's funny how you can talk about the woman's time like the man's time isn't an equivalent exchange. You can talk about the woman's bills, but you don't talk about the man's bills like it's not an equivalent exchange. It's funny how some of these women will say you need to pay for this, pay for that, do this, do that, but then they can't tell you what they're going to do for you. It speaks to their selfishness.
Well, what does the guy get? Does he get a massage? Does he get, what does he get just for having to continue and be around you? And does he get automatic meals? Does he have automatic access to your body now? And then you even mentioned it in the context of a friendship. So you could really be manipulative through that and just say, oh, we're just friends. How could you ask me for some booty or whatever? But still pay my bills or whatever, if I want you to. Or I sleep with you when I want to sleep with you, but you pay my bills all the time. They love these kind of weird, unbalanced deals nowadays.
Every job you've been in, some dick there, ain't it?
You creeping on everybody.
Is it not? Have you ever worked at a job where dick didn't show up?
They always show up.
Thank you. So dick is free. If your job is what you need to focus on. Get you a job, you'll get you some dick.
Job and education.
There you go. Education. Get your job. Your education is just going to add an extra bill to that nigga that's you. I don't want to pay.
We don't wanna
I don't want to pay your Perkins loan. I don't want to do that. But if you got a job, it's a show up at your job. You can be working at Walmart. Come through your aisle and be like, you got some nice ass.
Hey, yo.
He gonna try to holler. It don't matter what you do. So
I wonder if she from what is she from New York, the way she said EU.
get a job. Maybe you should tell your girlfriends, stop looking for dick and get on Indeed.
Yeah, but you
know, that's not how it goes sometimes in the dating world.
A woman that wants to get paid for sex, what is she?
An escort.
Is that what you want women to be nowadays? Escorts?
A prostitute.
Now, she ain't no escort. Ford is an escort. She's a prostitute.
I just want people to be happy the way that they feel.
I was waiting for that argument. And this is what people do when they start to realize that they're losing. I just want people to be happy. You hear this from a lot of women. And I'm going to be real. I don't care about people's happiness. I'd rather society continue to function than people just walk around happy all the time. Right? Because if you let certain people just do whatever they want for the sake of their happiness, the world is going to get destroyed, like legit destroyed, because some of the things that would make people happy is pure and utter destruction. Like what this lady said. She thinks men should just go around paying women's bills because they sleep with them. Now, wouldn't that then make men broke, which would then create a big societal problem? This is why we can't focus on happiness. Sometimes, and my wife keeps telling me this, and we're trying to instill it in our children. Sometimes you got to do what doesn't make you happy, right? You got to work that job that you hate, but it'll get you the skills that you need to get a better job. Sometimes when you exercise and you out of shape, son, like I tell you, it's not going to make you happy. But if you continue it, if you keep eating that crap that don't taste that good, but it's good for you, and you keep exercising, you keep doing it, it's going to make your life better. And then the results will make you happy. We don't teach that anymore. We just teach, well, just do what makes you happy. This is why nobody happy, because everybody's trying to take shortcuts, and the shortcuts aren't working. It's like a shortcut leading to nowhere. But we continue to promote this. I just want everybody to be happy. Nonsense.
Like necessary for themselves.
So prostitutes.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way the world runs.
Can't make.
And this is why certain people can't be the leaders of society, because if you have the mentality, you heard what she said. She didn't even think about it. It was just, if they're happy, just let them do it. And that's what I was talking about. We gotta be careful out here. And it's like, imagine being married with that woman. Imagine having a kid with that woman. Imagine how much your life would suck. I think that should be more important to you young men than sleeping with a woman like that. Maybe I'm just old and crazy at this point.
This shit up. You know that women are bad for each other when they say that, whatever makes you happy, you should do, even if it's being a streetwalker.
That's stupid.
Or even if it's demeaning yourself. Yeah, you should do it because, girl power. See? You women need men to intervene in you guys' conversations, you guys' dialogues about dating and relationships, because you live in a fantasy land that can hurt you. Show that women, even outside of the Black community, are deluded by really, really bad ideas when it comes to like an inflated idea of the value of their little cooter boxes.
I don't want that regular shit over there no more, goddamn. I ain't trying to you like that.
I see a lot of Black mothers telling their Black daughters, don't be sleeping with that man for free. But I don't know if you guys realize that you're basically telling them to go out there and sell it. They're missing the deep underlying message, and they're just translating that into, I should probably put a charge on this every time I do it. And then when guys start to see it as a transactional deal like that, he only respects her as that. Hit the subscribe button, also the notification bell so you're notified every single time we post content just like.
Yeah, and I'll close here. This isn't rocket science. This should be common sense thinking, right? If you are sleazy and easy and just get around, most people aren't going to like you. No one has to pay your bills. No one has to take care of you. This is what we teach young men. There's no one coming to save you. Do it for yourself. And when you start off with that mentality, you tend to make better decisions in life. This was very entertaining, but it's sad when you think about it, because she really believed every word she said. She had legit confusion in her eyes, because she don't understand, like, if I'm sleeping with you, why you're not paying for my things? That's a lost woman. You can't fix women like that. Don't try, fellas. Do not try. Find someone who makes sense. Find someone who moves better. Find someone who makes better decisions, because I guarantee you that same girl will have multiple babies by multiple men in a few short years. And she's going to be trying to destroy those men's lives because she's unhappy with herself and because she can't figure things out. I'm tired of telling y'all to move better, but this is a perfect example as to why you should move better, because if you don't, you might end up with someone like the girl in this video. All right, y'all, hit the like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and thanks for watching my last video. I am truly appreciative. I'm glad to have you. And with that, we'll talk soon. I'll try not to make it such a big gap between videos, but I gotta tell y'all, I've been busy. All right, so I'll holler at y'all soon. All right. Thanks for listening to the Center Ground Podcast. We'll be back soon with some more great content. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on the video. We are a new channel, and growth is essentially our main objective. So send us an email at centerground.pod@gmail.com with any ideas or clips you would like for us to review. This was definitely fun, and I'd say let's do it again. But before you go, always remember, greatness lives somewhere within you. Just make sure you're taking the time to find the key to unlock that greatness. Until we meet again, I'll see you soon.